In the year of the reductive quokka, Mausropa is smouldering. At the end of late summer, a large battle is fought near Milbekaese. Baron Gamelost and the Duke de Brugy are able to hold the city under the watchful eyes of King Sivka. The loyalist forces retreat north, led by Flavisham, Gudbrandsdalen, and Mauskar. The royalist army regroups and pursues. In early autumn, Montgrun falls to the royalist forces of Pigafetta. The Council of Nobles is trapped and captured, including the regent, the Count de Gex. Gudarian declares himself the head of the loyalist government and vows to continue the fight to destroy the usurper. In mid-autumn, Count Rostopki seizes control of the Milbekaese and declares for Gudarian and the loyalist cause. At the same time, Count Runard declares that the cities his family controls in southeastern Maustria are now loyal to the Grand Duchesses. Tarmilt and Revdenii fly the red and white banner of Ublico. There is a brief rebellion in Milbekaese as loyalist sympathizers seize control of the city, expelling the royalist governor. Flavisham's corps takes advantage of the chaos to march back into the city, but are then forced to retreat west into the Fetdka Gap, pursued by Gamelost and Pigafetta, who retake Milbekaese. The city is under royalist control. Mid-autumn has been characterized by 2 weeks of solid rain in the south, slowing movement, while the north has had only fine weather. There has been a flourish of diplomatic declarations across the continent, with various pacts and leagues and mutual defence arrangements. One diplomatic event has been the decision of both royalist and loyalist Maustrians to stop paying Burdain interest on a previous war bond until the matter of the civil war is resolved. In response, Burdain issues a declaration to expel all Maustrian loyalist and royalist supporters from that land. Property and goods have been seized to cover the cost of the war debt owed. Now, in late autumn, Zuranese troops cross the border into Maustria and occupy the city of Adon, ostensibly at the invitation of Gudarian. A state of war now exists between Zuran and royalist Maustria. Crimsonian troops have entered Maustria as well, and laid siege to the city of Revdenii. The fort resists for 3 weeks before falling. Revdenii has been occupied, and a state of war now exists between Ublico and Crimsonia. Winter arrives with a vengeance. In the south there are 2 solid weeks of rain, followed by 2 weeks of snow. In the north a fine week is followed by 1 of rain and 2 of snow. Armies do not march far this month. A Zuranese force arrives at Garland, placing the city under siege. Rumours spread of a Burgundian force arriving in Crimsonian-occupied Revdenii, transported by Burdanese ships. There are also rumours of the evacuation of Ublicon land forces from Tarmilt, carried by Manathian vessels. There are reports of a naval engagement between Zuran and the royalist forces off the coast of Hoanida. It is unclear who, if anyone, has been victorious. The midwinter weather is considerably milder. In the north there is 1 week of snow, followed by 3 fine weeks. In the south, the 1 week of snow is followed by 2 of rain and 1 fine. Burdain have announced spring games in Brondlev. An arena complex by the river is under construction. The event is neutral ground to all parties. All nations are welcome to participate, apart from loyalist and royalist competitors this year. Events include running, swimming, rowing, sailing, riding, shooting, cookery, painting, sculpting, oratory, needlework, and cheese-making. There have been civil demonstrations in Revdenii, with local mice chanting their support for the de Brugy family and Burgundii, and condemning the occupation by Crimsonia. The Zuranese have laid siege to a royalist fort guarding Garland. For 3 weeks the fort has resisted, and Garland remains under the control of the royalist Maustrians. In Montgrun, a small force of loyalist Maustrians have attempted to lead a takeover of the city government, but have been quickly overwhelmed by local law enforcement and a particularly angry fishmonger. Montgrun remains under the control of the royalist Maustrians. In Tarmilt, there are reports of a Burgundii army arriving at the city and preparing to lay siege. A Burdanese fleet has been sighted off the coast. Off the coast of Adon, there are reports of significant battles between the Zuranese and royalist Maustrian fleets. The Zuranese fleet is severely beaten and falls back into Adon to recover. The city is under blockade. In the Fetdka Gap, the loyalists under Flavisham have built a fort and a supply depot, ready to launch an invasion in the spring. But the royalist army has concentrated around Milbekaese, ignoring the Zuranese invasion from the north for the time being. 2 massive armies are gathering in the gap, but who will strike first, and who will rule Maustria?